Itachi, is you dead at my feet.
Well then.
That's right, the path to your success is an anime, man. I'm gonna touch on Itachi and Sasuke from Naruto, man, with this. You know, when you think about life and you think about, losing, which we all have before, man. We all thought about just being losers and not winning, and everybody looks like they're doing much better than what we are. Look in the minds of everybody from, Shikamaru to Tamari to Hinata. Like, those people I just named all felt like losers, but those are some of people's favorite characters, man. Mine is a mixture of three. I bounce back from Kakashi to Itachi to Sasuke, and I put myself in their shoes. And I think about, like, the similarities. And what I have with Sasuke, I will speak on, is I had an older brother who was better than me at everything. Like, just the man, football, wrestling, any sport, just the man. Everybody loved him. He was the prodigy, the protege, all of that. You know what I mean? Like, he was on his way. Like, Michigan and Michigan State wanted him. Like, so I had that Itachi older brother, which, these creators, these writers, they put these lessons in anime because, they're real life and they just add fantasy to them. So why I'm telling y'all, like, real life answers and things that you think about that you can't solve is in anime, which is why I love it. So I had that older brother who was just like that. He ended up doing 12 years in prison, you know what I'm saying, which is crazy. Itachi became a criminal too. But my point is, man, is what helped me through and what kind of like, because I was never jealous. I was proud of him, just like how Sasuke was. Like, I loved him. I still love him. But I was lost in, like, what do I fit in this family? I already have a older brother that's doing, everybody's watching him. So what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, where do I fit in? Which is what I always had a hard time doing. Like, what line do I go in? Do I play football? Do I get behind him? I'm kind of smaller, though. I don't think I'm going to have a career. Like, he's bigger naturally. He got the lucky genes. What am I going to do? Who am I? And watching Sasuke, especially when I was a young kid, when that anime first dropped, it gave me a lot of answers to questions, you know what I'm saying? Like, answers that I didn't have to those questions at that young age, man. And one of them was to just get stronger. No matter what, like, no matter what you think, no matter what's going on, you small right now, but if you keep training, even as a young, eventually you're going to learn new things and get stronger to be on that level or past that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, it taught me, that one right there, it taught me many, but that one lesson right there it saved me. You know what I mean? Just keep going hard. What's funny is I eventually ended up becoming, playing football and becoming a cornerback, and I was actually really fast. It was one thing I surpassed my brother in was speed. I ran track. I was faster than he was. He's a lot older than me. He's 7 years older than me, but, like, as far as, when he was in his prime and when I was in my prime, that was something I was actually able to achieve that was, superior to him, even though he was great at so many things like Itachi. But, I got on it, and he helped, also as well. I always asked him to help me when it came to basketball, when it came to me trying to make the team for basketball. And with his help, I made it. It was like a valuable lesson, and just seeing your brother could leave, you know what I'm saying? In Itachi's case, he left and went to the Akatsuki, killed the whole clan. My brother, he didn't take anybody's lives, but he let the clan down in a sense, and end up, doing a long bid, so he left in the same sense. So all the burden was left on me, everything was left as like, well, what is he gonna do? Just like with Fugaku and Sasuke, it's like, you try to live up to it, but you got to make your own claim, man. Fugaku ended up, getting, taken out by his own son, but, Sasuke was still left over, still like, I got to get my clan back in order. And that's kind of what gave me the drive, is like, I got to get my family in order. My brother was supposed to be one to do it, but that didn't happen. So it made me stronger as the years went on. It's so funny, Itachi, like, set everything up. And my brother was doing the same thing for me. He was like setting certain things up so I could become better than he was, because he felt in his mind he had to run the streets because we were poor, which was something I left out, which is how he got caught up. But he never wanted me to get into that type of life because it was so easy where we were from. So he was trying to set things up like Itachi, in which I kind of knew that already. You know, I never lost that love for him. I didn't like hate him for going to prison for 12 years. But it was certain things that he set up that I didn't know he set up, and how he really wanted me to become better than he did. And, you know, I was able to see that in that show. I'm like, maybe he's thinking like that, like, you know, because he still was, you know, behind bars when that part came out about Itachi actually being a double agent, you know what I mean, and him actually wanting Sasuke, you know, to live and all of that. Like, so I'm like, maybe that's the way my brother think. Maybe that's the way older brothers who are, you know, prodigies think, which it was. So it didn't make me hate him or find any type of, I don't malice and wanting to do something, or it's like, oh, you betrayed us, you left, you know, you chose the streets over your family. It didn't make me feel like that at all, just because of that show. You know what I mean? Like, and to cherish what you have. You know, and it's like, you don't know what's gonna happen the next day. You might lose the person that you respect and you love the most the next day. You know, whether it be prison, them just leaving, you know, going moving somewhere else, you know, or a tragic matter. But these animes definitely hold keys to becoming successful. Some of these writers have went through similar situations, man, or seen similar situations. That's why they write them down and they create these things. It's for you to learn. It's for you to see. Like, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learn from the mistakes of others. And that's basically what you're doing when you're throwing on an anime like this. You learning from the mistakes of others. They're putting their mistakes in anime form and, you know, animation, you know, like, so you can learn from it and it'll lead you to a path of success, man. Like, it's what I love about the medium so much. Just that, and that's just two characters, you know, two brothers, you know, which was I was able to relate to, you know, Itachi and Sasuke, you know, me being Sasuke in that matter, and I can relate to Itachi on certain things. But just using that, like, that's what really gripped me to the show, man. When Sasuke had this, I'm like, dang, why he hate his brother so much? What is this about? You know, two brothers. You know, I love my brother. Let me see where this goes. And it kind of led to some similarities. And, you know, I was able to cope and learn from it. Again, it's so many shows. There's so many characters just in that one show. I can relate to Shikamaru with the laziness. I can relate to Naruto with being like a knucklehead and wanting to be something bigger and nobody believing in you. I could relate to Hinata, you know, with just being shy. Like, it's crazy. I can relate to every character on some type of level, which is what makes it such a classic and a well-written show. I can relate to all of them. And one last thing about Sasuke is, you know, when Orochimaru when he went there to get power, that's kind of what I was kind of going to some dangerous places to try to grow. When he went there, he never lost he didn't just become a senseless, violent person. And that's what I looked at too. I was like, oh, that's how I need to stay steady. If I'm going to look for betterment or power, I need to make sure I'm not just a psychopath, you know, and don't just take people out and do wrong by people just because I can. He didn't lose that, and his mission was to just gain power, and that's all he was focused on, you know, which I focused on. It's not a bad thing to want to gain some type of, you know, betterment for yourself. And that's all he did, really. It's like I left friends, you know, just like he did. He couldn't stay in that village and grow. It just wasn't going to be for him. He had to do it the hard way. Like I said, which is like I was. Like, my friends just didn't understand. Even with this, me doing this, trying to, you know, help younger people, you know, get on the right path and do what they supposed to. My friends don't understand this. They're trying to have families, and I ain't gonna call them selfish, but they just thinking about themselves. Like, I want to help younger kids, like, badly. Like, I want to be able to help people not go through things that I went through. I know some things you have to go through on your own, but I want to be able to at least lend a hand or some advice. Like I said, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man can learn from the mistakes of others, which some kids can learn from my mistakes. And, you know, don't fall off of anime, man. I'm old. You know what I'm saying? I still watch it. So it's like, you can learn a lot of lessons from anime, man. Like I said, and don't swear off a real friend. You know, I have a real friend, a close friend, you know, like Naruto, like Sasuke as Naruto. Don't swear them off. They're there for you. Listen to your elders, which is what he did with the Hokages. You know what I'm saying? He listened to them. They gave him some insight, and he was able to make a decision through listening to them. Train hard. That's all he did. You know, even though he was jealous of Naruto's, you know, power every time when they was together, every time he trained, he's like, okay, I'm mad, but I gotta train to get better. You know, never lose sight of that. Never lose sight of the goal. When he realized he needed help, he got the heavy. You know, and then they turned the name into the Taka. Like, I did the same thing. You know, I used to make music. You know, I had a crew. Like, I'm not with the crew like that anymore. Like, it's no love lost. Like, I still hit them up, but like, that's life, man. And it teaches you lessons. Like you're gonna have to go through that part of life. But anyway, man, I ramble, man. That's just something to help you on your path of success, man. Stay watching anime.